Hello, my friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family. Thank you guys so much for joining me once again. So, the merger of man with machine is going along at a much faster pace than most people are even realizing. There is a huge movement underway, and many people don't even realize how far along this already is. Here we see, I am not dying, I am transforming. A doctor diagnosed with terminal motor neuron disease hopes to become the world's first true cyborg. Dr. Peter Scott Morgan, who is 61, diagnosed with motor neuron disease 2 years ago, he decided to challenge what it means to be human by becoming fully robotic. The doctor has an avatar of his face to show expressions if he loses muscle control. And so this scientist who's dying from a muscle wasting disease is taking drastic steps in his bid to become the first true cyborg. And he's from Torquay in Devon, and he was diagnosed with this motor neuron disease 2 years ago and was told it would only take until this year to kill him. And again, that is part of the whole problem with the medical system, is these diagnoses and giving you this fatalistic point of view. But as we see here, instead of accepting his fate, he decided to challenge what it means to be human and now hopes to create Peter 2.0. He's gradually replacing his body functions with machinery. An electric wheelchair now enables him to be upright, sitting or laying down. He has banked his voice on a computer and had his voice box removed. He's fed through a tube and has a catheter and a colostomy bag attached so he doesn't eat or excrete. And that's a picture of him with his husband there. And there he is in his chair. So the most recent phase of his transformation has been to make a computer avatar of his face. So this avatar computer rendering of his face is designed to be controlled with AI and look like him before he became ill. He's rigged up various machines so he can control them with the movement of his eyes, among them a hoist and a motorized bed. And this week he announced the final procedure in his transition into a robot, where he traded his voice for potentially decades of life. So he underwent a laryngectomy, meaning he lost his physical voice, but doing so has removed the danger of saliva entering his lungs and suffocating him. And that is his avatar face. And there is a video here as well. So he says he's not dying, he's transforming, and he loves science. So throughout his career, he's been granted unparalleled confidential access to government organizations, banks, and major corporations. And he's been using this scientific expertise to work with cutting-edge technology experts in order to become Peter 2.0. So he means he's turning into a cyborg. And again, there's some photos and some video. You know, how do you guys feel about it? Do you realize that there's a whole movement going on right now? There is. While there's so many people that are so paranoid about, quote unquote, taking a chip because, they feel it's the fulfillment of Revelation. And basically exactly what Revelation says about not being able to buy or sell with having the mark of the beast. And they feel this is the mark of the beast. Interesting terminology, because the beast is really more of an animal, and yet we're turning into more of a robot. These people are turning into something that is less animal, more machine. And here we see how BBC News transhumanists who are upgrading their bodies. And there's a video here, and there's several people in this video. This is a chip being inserted. They're younger people. And just to show you where we're at here, actually getting chips implanted in them so they don't have to carry their medical information, so they don't have to carry their bank cards. There's a big movement underway, and these people are talking about how good it is, and in the video here, one woman says, this chip is all my medical information, so if something happened to me, they could scan me and know blood type, know everything, medical history right there. And others, are for different things, such as, having your bank card with you. And there she is right there. So she had her first enhancements after a bad car crash decades ago. Her back was bolted back together by surgeons. One of her kneecaps was replaced with one that was 3D printed. And if it wasn't for the cybernetic kneecap, I would not be able to walk, she told the BBC. And then she went on to personal voluntary modifications, such as the microchips in her hands. And there you see a chip actually implanted into the back of the hand. So you're never leaving home, basically, without your info. So think about this. Here's a good question for you. How far would you go for a body upgrade? Do you believe, do you believe in life after death? What do you think we are? What do you think we are? Maybe if you believe that all we are is this body, then, you're going to be desperate to just keep this body running. And you'll do anything because you don't necessarily believe there's anything after this. Perhaps it's, just nothing but a blank darkness, a non-existence. Many people believe that. Personally, I don't. Not at all. I don't at all. I had shared with you guys, I had the realization when I was 5 years old after my brother died. I was just standing, staring at the wall, and then I felt myself above and behind my body, looking down at my body, and I realized, you know what? I'm not the body. I'm something totally different. I have a body. I'm in a body most of the time, but I am not the body. This goes into such a slippery slope, especially when we start looking at control. And so this is a young man that put a microchip in his hand as well, and he's happy. And there are some things that I've seen out there and read where they say that within 10 years we won't have any phones on us. Just 10 years, just one more decade, and there won't be any more phones because it'll all be inside of us. Just basically chips inside of us. This is a big movement. And some younger people, for the most part, from what I've seen, they're the ones that are going ahead and jumping on this, besides people like the doctor we were talking about. The movement of the singularity is nigh. And of course, we have AI and we have nanotechnology going on as well. You could see where, in some cases, like we showed in a video about a week ago, a gentleman that was able to walk again, and he was not able to walk at all, but now he has an exoskeleton and he is able to move about. So I guess a lot of us could understand that in that type of situation. As we read here, we're entering a new era. It's called the Singularity. It's a merger between human intelligence and machine intelligence that's going to create something bigger than itself. It's the cutting edge of evolution on our planet, according to some. One can make a strong case that it's actually the cutting edge of the evolution of intelligence in general, because there's no indication that it's occurred anywhere else. There's people that would not agree with that. There is a whole Gnostic line of thought. If you guys are familiar with Gnosticism and archons and the demiurge, that really we are living in basically a computer simulation that's going on right here, controlled by AI. And there are some that believe there are entities like the little gray aliens, the taller gray aliens, and then the reptilians, but that they are all ultimately under the control of this AI intelligence that runs this reality. So really, are we truly in a matrix that is controlled by AI already? And is this going to take it to the next level? So some believe that this is a beautiful thing, and that this is the next stage. As it says here, the next stage will be to amplify our own intellectual powers with the result of our own technology. We know there are computers that, 20-something years ago, I forget, I think it was called Big Blue, played the world champion chess person here and just obliterated him, 20-something years ago. Obviously, the computers we have today blow away what the human mind is capable of at faster speeds as far as processing, but that's not all we do. Yeah, we are much different beings than computers. However, as Elon Musk has been doing, they have already tested a lot of things, including chip implants into the brains on rats and monkeys. My suspicion is there's quite a few humans with chip implants in their brains already, and more than likely in the military there are quite a few. And here we see, this is Elon Musk talking about human clinical trials are expected to begin just next year. Just next year. There's a video here for you guys as well to look at. This merger is going on. Here's 3 technologies that are well underway, and exoskeletons that we talked about is one of them. Prosthetics, new limbs for those perhaps that have had their limbs blown off in accidents or over in war. And then microchips. And they have, as it says here, surprisingly, microchips being implanted under people's skin isn't all that new. Even back in 2013, a Swedish microchipping firm, Biohacks International, which I've made videos on in the past as well, has been doing that. And over 4,000 Swedes have taken chips into their bodies. There's more than that. There's way more than that. And then there's the whole thought that perhaps there are some that don't even realize it's already there in them. And here we see a new microchip being unveiled in Dubai. Can you imagine that? Just all you got to do is touch your wrist, activate, and everything is right there for you. Inside the science behind Elon Musk's crazy plan to put chips in people's brains and create human AI hybrids. What's the bigger picture going on with this, my friends? What do you think is the bigger plan? And then DNA nanomachines are opening medicine to the world of physics, and we've talked about this, and they've talked glowingly about the fact that these nanomachines are going to be injected into your blood, and it could go and actually, send back signals, information from within your blood itself, even pictures potentially. So I ask you too, do you think this is already going on? Do you think this technology exists? Do you think it's already in use? Interesting stuff. I look forward to your comments on this, my friends. I want to thank everybody that's supporting us on Patreon and invite you all to come and join us over there as well. It's a beautiful, close-knit family. And by supporting the channel over there as well, you help us get the word out and talk about things that need to be talked about. And for as little as $1 a month, you can support the channel and the family over there. And then also come subscribe to EE Arts. That's the second channel, more of a spiritual-based channel. And I welcome and invite you guys to come over there as well. So as always, like, share, subscribe. Let's wake as many people up to what's really going on in this world, because it is going on at an amazingly fast, blazing pace. Change is rapidly upon us. And we have to think about, what do we really want this world to look like? And how far are we willing to go? As for me, I would never take a chip in me consciously. And I have no desire or plans to ever merge with robotics or AI. Because I believe our evolution, our true evolution, lies on a much, much different path. I mean, completely in a different direction. That's my own personal thoughts. So what are your thoughts, my friends? God bless and namaste.